The following portion of the video deals with attaching 6-inch wide, inexpensive gutter screen to 5-inch wide gutters or eavestroughs, and as part of the installation that I use, I notch it in the portion where it's going to go over the gutter screw or the gutter nail, and then I attach the cable ties to the gutter screw and gutter screen right around here over the nail. Last year I used 1 cable tie, this year I'm using 2, and it's been pretty successful. When I install a gutter guard, I do a couple of modifications, and I also like to test to see how these things worked first. So on the other side of the roof, I did the installation a year ago, and let's take a look. So this is a look at the gutter guard after 12 months of my installation. Last year I went light on the zip ties and also on the where I notch it. I'll go over that. And the trees I have around here are things like ash, sycamore, maples, red buds, magnolia, oak, tulip poplar, and let's see if we can get in on some of the leaves. So this is the kind of stuff that actually gets trapped, or accumulates, I should say. But on the underside, but in the gutter itself, it looks almost like okay, let's see if we can get in here. Looks almost sort of like dried peat moss. But the number one thing is that where previously in past decades I would have the gutters overflowing several times a year, forcing me to clean it out often, the last 12 months hasn't overflowed once. So I'm going to continue with putting gutter guard, but I'm going to change the installation and go with adding some more zip ties and notching, which I'll go over. Alright, so the mesh I use is this plastic mesh, 6 inches by 20 foot roll, and then I actually snip it using shears, tin shears, over the fasteners and bend it down, and then also secure it with cable ties to each one. And so, as I said, in the front of the house, this. Alright, so I start at one end and notch slightly, and let's see, this is the original width here. I didn't cut this part off. And use 2 cable ties per support. And so this is notched and attached. And then I will overlap sections, so that's why this guy is not notched nor attached yet. And you can see why my preference is for notching these babies in order to get that relatively contained. And this is as the work is progressing. And one little trick I also have been finding is that after cutting the cable ties, cut it to a reasonable length, and then scoot it into one of the diamonds, if at all possible, and then that keeps it from, let's see, if I can zoom in on one over here, that keeps projections above the surface to a minimum. Here's a close-up of shoving the cut tab under the surface. And so we'll see how this holds up this winter.